On April 25th, 2025, the newest banner unit, Time Stop Strike Homura, affectionately called either Glasses Homura or Moemura by the community, was released into Madoka Magica Magia Exedra. The last member of the Holy Quintet expected to bring the girls together in a cohesive way, she stirred up quite the controversy within the community, not just for her kit, but also the manner in which she and future characters were and are expected to be released. The first half of this video will delve into her kit and see if she is worth pulling, while the second will be going into some of the complaints the community has had with the state of the game and whether or not this spells disaster for Magia, etc. Just like Homura, we're running out of time, and unlike her, we can't rewind it. That in mind, let's just jump into the review. Just like Sayaka, we'll be looking at her as if she were Ascension 0, level 100, Magic level 110, and Special level 4, as that's the most realistic point people would be raising her to. Glasses Homura is a 5-star Void buffer unit, making her the second buffer of the Holy Quintet, and the second 5-star Void unit, the first being Ren. All of her skill damage scales off of her attack, and what sets her apart from other buffer units is two things: action events and skill point regeneration. To start, let's get into her ability, Assault Charge. It's a bit intensive, so we'll be breaking it down one by one. The first two parts of the passive are simple, so we'll just explain them quickly. On battle start, Homer grants 1 SP, and as long as she's alive, all allies' speed will be increased by 28%, and their attack is increased by 5%. Almost immediately we can see how she sets herself apart from the likes of Surano and Mami. She provides immediate speed increases, SP, and an albeit negligible attack increase. With her on the team, there's no worrying about whether or not your defenders can set up their barriers before the enemy gets to attack. They're almost guaranteed to move fast enough to do so. And that 1 SP on battle start alone also makes it that you can be a little more lax with managing SP, if for nothing else, the start of the battle. But she's not meant to be a unit you just throw in to die, and this is where the third part of her passive comes in. On damage dealt to an enemy by your own or ally's basic attack, battle skill, or special attack, it grants 1 magic to Homura for a maximum of 7. And at max magic, it consumes all of it, granting 1 SP in return. This, on its own, completely changes how you have to calculate SP management, and for the better. Being able to get SP refunded at any point is so immensely useful, allowing you to sling battle skills left and right without having to hesitate as much as you normally would be. The unfortunate part of this ability is that, just like Sayaka, you have to deal HP damage to an enemy. Not only that, but it doesn't trigger on follow-up attacks like Ren's or counterattacks like Sayaka's. Regardless, however, it does trigger on specials when they deal damage, allowing you to cheat some charges of magic. Scribble, that's 7 whole attacks! That's so many! Is it even worth it at that point? Absolutely, and that is because of her own battle skill, DIY Bomb Toss. If you've at all been looking at the gameplay in the background, you might have noticed that after Homura uses her battle skill, she gains 2 magic instead of 1. Well, that's because she does. It's pretty good at shrinking the cost of her passive, and not to mention the other effect of the battle skill. It increases all allies' action order by 19%. She makes her party into effective speed demons. Pair her up with Mami and her own 20% action advance passive, and you can fit multiples of your character's turn before the enemy even gets a chance to act. And then there's her special, Time Stop Strike. Perhaps one of the cutest animations in the game, it's also a shame that its effect is pretty basic. It deals 304% void damage on a single enemy and increases all allies' special damage dealt by 43% for 2 turns. This isn't bad by any means, but considering how she's been an action advance and SP recovery focused unit, it's a little out of place, at least at first glance. That changes when you consider the fact that she's a part of the Holy Quintet. She is essentially tailor-made to support Kyoko Sakura, whose special is meant to nuke enemies at 350% break or higher. This fits Her action advance makes her allies move faster so that they can increase the break meter. Her SP increases ensures that Kyoko gets to activate her battle skill during the break, increase her attack by 18%. Her special increases that damage by another 43%. And if you happen to have Sayaka Miki and have her at 5 magic minimum, her special gives another 20% special attack damage increase, and up to 30% at max magic. And they fixed Sayaka's counterattack, making it so that the one-turn element debuff lasts until the enemy's next turn. And not only that, but Mami's special grants MP recovery rate, and increases all allies' damage dealt by 33%, and her battle skill increases attack by 18%. Add on to that Pluvia Madoka, the best breaker in the game at the moment, and, well, we have an extremely fast, extremely competent nuke team with consistent barriers, serviceable healing, and yeah, it's just good. Glasses Homura is a Homura that believed in her team before that belief was tested time and time again. She supports the Holy Quintet in a way that's nothing but remarkable, and even outside of the Holy Quintet, you can never go wrong with putting her in a team. Her SP heal and action advance alone are applicable everywhere, not even mentioning the speed and special damage up buffs. So, with that in mind, is she worth pulling? Fuck no! Scribble, you just spent a good, 8 minutes glazing the hell out of her. I know. But there's a simple reason why you shouldn't pull for her, and one that's even more annoying considering how good of a unit she is. She's not a limited unit. In a month's time, she'll be added in the standard banner. And we have a limited unit coming up in just 3 days. And it's one that's expected to shake the game, if for nothing else, for the actual unit. The Law of Cycle herself, Ultimate Madoka, or Madokami. Here is where I go into the worries that the community has. If you just came for the review, hey, drop a like, subscribe, and then click off the video. Maybe leave a comment if you also want to call me handsome. But from here on out, this video will be about whether or not this game is going to change. I'm not going to go into super deep detail. If you want that, I recommend watching Raz Anime's video on the recent announcements. I'll be linking below, as he went into more detail than I'm going to. I will, however, be explaining the complaints and concerns the community has so far, and whether or not they've been addressed, and what it means for the future of the game. This section will be done referencing this Reddit post, what people missed. The devs directly addressed all of our feedback by user the Razilim. I will be linking this below, so get this to read if you have the chance, and yeah. So to start off with the thing that everybody is interested in, not enough Magica stones. With this being the #1 criticism, the devs have already started increasing the amount of gems gained by, for example, adding them to the event shop of each event. This is true. Day 1, and for all the events up until the Case Files event, there haven't been any Magica gems in the event shop, but starting with Sunny Day Life Part 1, there have been 300 in each one. Well, there have only been 2 since then, but yeah. Anyway, however, they are now going to double the amount of gems available in event rewards, and also generally increase the amount of gems gained while playing the game. We don't know what this means yet, but hopefully it means increasing the 10 gems per stage clear. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. As part of this, we are getting 900 gems as login rewards leading up to Madokami, and an additional 4,000 in login rewards on top of regular login rewards when Madokami arrives. Another criticism that people have had with this game, and I personally also dislike, is that we don't have enough orbs for enhancement. I still have not gotten my Pluvia Madoka all the way up to magic level 110 ever since I got her, because I had to raise Kokoro, I had to raise Iroha, I raised the Lux Madoka because I didn't have Pluvia Madoka and she was my only AoE breaker. So having more orbs is definitely necessary, and I do appreciate that they did add some in the recent tower and also in the score attack. But additionally, they have greatly increased the amount of orbs available in event shops, and will continue to look for more ways of dropping orbs on our heads. I do believe that up until Sunny Day Life Part 1, there have only been 3 orbs of each in event shops, but now there are 6. So this is just true. This is true. This is great. These next two are, this one is just quality of life technically, but it's also really annoying. It's about the cutscenes being too long, some parts of the game too slow, where we have to completely stop so that AQ can lecture us on some MemSpark stuff. But it looks like it's all going to be either skippable or sped up, which is great. It's a good time saver. Nobody in their life has ever said this, but for the people who have, you don't exist. But the people who have, they're interested in adding a chaos mode, which is more difficult than nightmare mode. I'm not excited for that, but hey, more gems is more gems, and more content is more content. I'm just not excited because it's probably going to be another rehashing of the same story that we've been told, which can get a little grating because it has just been recapped so far. So I'm hoping that they do something special, at least when the Chaos Mode comes out. Now for the most important part, at least to me, is that new character banners are coming too quickly. This wasn't explicitly part of the 4 points from the image shown above. For context, this is the image. I can't get magic stunts easily, it's difficult to collect training materials, I want a tempo of play to be improved, and I completed Nightmare and want more challenging content. These are all complaints that they have taken notice of and are actively working to fix. This hasn't been explicitly said, but the roadmap for next month of the game shows that the current banner rate of 1 or more character every week is going to slow down drastically to only 1 new character every 2 weeks. Also, both of the characters after Monokami, Iroha and Mabuyu, are going to be standard characters, meaning that they will be added as standard pool, and that only Monokami is going to be limited. So if, in my opinion, if you're going to pull for anybody, you should be pulling for Monokami. Because these two, as much as it might hurt, we don't know their kits yet, you might like them a lot, but they are going to be on the standard banner. She is not. Here are some quality of life changes. I'm not going to go too deep into them. If you want to read them, then just go to this Reddit post. Again, it's going to be linked down below. But yeah. So what do I think of the changes so far? I think this is a really good direction that we're going into. This shows that the dev team is capable of listening to the player base, and it also shows that they are willing to be more generous, I'll say. That's not exactly the best way to put it, but it's the best way that I can put it right now. I do still think that this game might have longevity problems if they just stick to the story. That's another main thing that I feel like they haven't addressed. A lot of people have been complaining that the stories so far have just been recaps of Magia Record, of the anime, and of Oriko. I hope that they do more original content in the future, more stuff with AQ, maybe original Magia Record stories, but I have high hopes for them. This is a series that's been near and dear to my heart, and I hope that they will continue moving in a more positive direction, but we'll see. We'll see if that continues to be the case. But for now, that's the end of the video. If you like the video, and subscribe for more Magia Exedra content. I'll be doing Limbus Company content when the new season comes out, and Master Duel content at some point, so keep an eye out for those. For now though, I'll see you guys later. Good luck on your pulls.